Welcome to Mystic AF. Woohoo! I am Keelan Siobhan Clark, and today I have with me Brittany Fentress. I'm so excited.
I just saw like lightning bolts go off.
Yes. Yes. Brittany, you are so much like me in the fact that like we're just super creatives who just have so much mystical yumminess to tap into. And yeah, we're women who, what's the word? Renaissance women, I feel like. Right? Like we've just got a lot of knowledge about a lot of stuff. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And Brittany will be with us during Camera Crush on Saturday. So if you guys haven't signed up yet, please do yourself a favor and sign up. Yes, there will be recordings. It's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll drop the link in here when we're done. But tell me a little bit about yourself, Brittany.
Oh, well, I am a joy and wellness coach and a healer. So yes, mystic. There's a lot of mystical things about me. It took a hot moment to come up and realize and actually own that I am a healer, that I love healing women, and I love bringing awareness to our bodies, our energetic bodies, our physical bodies, are the auras around us. I love talking about anything mystical. Like Keelan and I have had, you and I both have had deep moments of like, oh yeah, and this and that, like about the connections to mushrooms, like under the ground, to rainbows, to like dreams and like
Jesus, all kinds of good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I remember when we were at that place in the quantum timeline. Yeah. There's some really fun stuff. When Brittany and I get together, we're just like, okay, what are we going to do? What do we do? We just like play, like adult women playing with cards and energy and stones and stuff. So what I want to talk about today, because this is Mystic AF, is I want to talk about the rainbow that lives inside of us. Which is how I look at it. I'm like, we all have a rainbow inside of us. What does that mean? Talking about the chakras. Ooh. And yeah. And I honestly, I never really took the time to study them or know them. And through a couple of programs I've taken, I've gotten more aligned with them and understanding them. But I'm wondering if you could take us through them, and then maybe we can kind of do like a little closed eye to figure out to tap into them, because we all have it. And I think it's something that sometimes I take for granted, like the natural energy that we have inside of us.
Yeah, some people call them chakras, some people call them chakras, like with the chakras. And I always think maybe I'm saying it wrong, but there's no wrong way, really. Like it's not English, so it's Sanskrit. So there's different ways. Some people call them the wheels. There's like the mundis, like they're center points in our body, and we have like up to like 14, 7. We have more than 7, but most people think of the chakras, the rainbow is like the 7 colors. So you start with
Roy G. Biv, baby.
Woohoo! So we're just gonna stick to those and throw in a fun one on. Actually, I'll throw in a couple for fun, because those are the ones I like working with.
Okay.
But so when you think about the rainbows, you have the root chakra, which is, and watch out, we're going to use some languaging that is specific to your body. So if there's children around, just a heads up. So the root chakra is located at the bottom of your spine. It is in between. It's literally that little flap of skin between your anus and your vagina, or for a man, testicles and anus. It's like that little spot, bottom of your spine. It goes all the way there. That's your root chakra. So sometimes for people like, I don't feel it, like you can literally take your hand and put it there and sit on it and like, okay, that's where it ends. It looked like you're going to say something.
Thinking about that little piece that's in between.
It's a very small space. But it affects your legs. It affects your hips. It affects the bottom part of our body. And it goes all the way down to like the feet and the toes. And so from the root, it's a big part of us. It controls, it affects the entire lower half of our body. So it is also connected to your primal security, the way you feel. Like, think about everything you need to stay safe: housing, food, money. So there's two chakras that go to your money and abundance, but this one specifically, money to survive. Your survival instincts are connected to your root chakra. So if you have money issues connected to survival, housing, safety, like security, anything along that, it's all on your root. So pretty much anything you learned between the ages of 1 to like maybe 8 years old, 6 sometimes, is all stored in your root chakra.
Okay.
So all of that trauma is down there.
Ooh.
And it's the color red.
Yes.
So when you look at stones and you're like really into crystals, if you are, I have a whole wall of them, but you want to look at red stones, black stones, brown stones, dark green stones, anything darker, even a smoky quartz is a root chakra stone.
Okay.
And then you work your way up to the sacral chakra, which is, if you take about your fingers and you go about 3 fingers wide below your belly button, or a little bit more, it depends on how long your torso is. I have a shorter one.
I have a long one.
You have a long one. So, or you think about where your ovaries lay. For men, it's a little higher. Like, but for women here, like where your ovaries are, that's your sacral. It's the reproductive system right there. So it's below your belly button.
Got it.
There's actually another one, I won't talk about it today, that's around the belly button, but that's like a deeper level.
Next month.
That's next level. But so that's your sacral, and your sacral is the color. Oh, my brain just stopped for a second. Orange. My favorite one. Orange. So like the colors for stone would be like a sunstone is a great one. And what's another one? I actually have a list in case my brain just decided not to work on me. Carnelian.
That's totally okay.
Carnelian is a beautiful one. A lot of if anybody here is about Isis or Egyptian times, carnelian is a big stone for that world. I can't remember the god, but she has the lion's head, and that the carnelian stone was all about her. Okay. And so if you go back to history of ancient Egyptian history, that stone pops up a lot. And so that stone and that chakra is all about your sensuality, your creativity. So we're saying we're creative people. Like that's where, if you're having creative blocks and you're like, that's the issue right there. It has also to do with like your flow and the way you move and your movement in your body. And of course, sometimes fertility or like libido. That's all there. Yeah, if you want to like turn that on, if you want to like rev that up, spend some time with your sacral chakra. It's a key one. That and the root chakra combined are big. Okay, and then you work your way up and you have the solar plexus, which is literally and you can tilt the camera down. So you have like, I was like, you can't see the shirt, but you know where your ribs like split? Yeah, that's the solar plexus. There's like when someone says if you got hit there really hard, you'd lose your breath. But from there all the way down to like the belly button, maybe a little lower, is the solar plexus chakra. Like it controls that whole space, and it's considered your divine will. And also your ego, like your ego's will and your divine will both reside in that space.
Put together.
Yeah. Like they're kind of like the shadow, like you have both. And it also is the place where your big no's are. Like your mama bear no, your lion no. Like if someone came in and like took your purse, like your no comes out.
Like that happened in Tijuana once. This guy was like, "Give me your purse," and I was like, "No." And I was like, "I can't believe I'm fighting you right now." And
that's where it comes from. You're like,
I was like, I had no control over that shit. All right,
cool. Powerful. So so people are wondering, like, should I do this? Like, well, go there. What's your yes and what's your no? It'll reside there. It's also, I'm gonna spend a little time on the sacral one or the solar plexus, because think this is the biggest question I get when I was working with women with their spaces, and I'm working with just women and coaching them, where they always ask me for permission. Like, can I do this? Should I do this? Like, you know, the answer, it resides in your solar plexus, meaning it's also the place where our gut reaction is. So your vagus nervous system is another nervous system. It's considered your second brain. It is 100 times more powerful. Actually, I think it's 100,000 times. It's powerful.
It's way powerful.
Way more powerful than your senses, like your sight, smell. Like it's that much stronger than your regular 5 senses. So your gut system, the nervous system, runs from your brain, from like the pineal gland around your earlobes. Little trick there is it's like a sexy button, like that'll get your sacral chakra revving up. But they go there and they go all the way down to your stomach. And so your stomach has most of your vagus nervous system, which controls the second brain. So it's the gut reaction to things. So that's why the gut reaction was, no, you're not taking my effing purse. Like, it's mine.
It was a rainbow purse too. I was like, nope.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
Of course. I love that part.
Rainbow magic.
I think that's the best part of that story. I've heard that story before, but you didn't tell me that part. So a great stones is yellow stones, like crystals that are yellow. Going back to this, obviously it's been a long day. Citrine, that's what I was thinking of. Citrine, it's yellow, it's a quartz stone. Citrine, tiger's eye, another big one. It's great for your like work, your career power. Citrine is also about abundance and money. So that stone works for that one. And then you work your way up to your heart. And your heart is, it's your heart area. You feel it. Like everybody feels that one. The heart also, interesting enough, controls your blood in your veins. It controls the circulation of your blood, which makes sense because it's connected to your heart. But for me, there was the realization like, oh, my blood clot that I had way down in my like lower leg was actually a heart chakra block. Like when I went back and I realized that after I studied energy and studied energetic medicine, and I read this book. It's a really intense book about energy and medicine, and because it's a legit thing that people actually have science around now. But your heart chakra, when it's blocked, and there's a lot of symptoms you can feel, and one of them are blood clots. So in that time of my life, I was having a massive block on, like I was completely disconnected from my heart and what my soul wanted to do. So it was like the divine coming in and like, nope, you get to go this way. Anyway, so that's one part that it controls. It also controls your arms, which, so, you know, when you have a heart attack, you're like, oh, my arm feels arm feels funny. So stones for that one. There's so many beautiful stones. Pink is a color for that. So this is where the rainbow gets a little funky, because you just went like the proper rainbow colors, like red, orange, yellow, and then it's either green or pink is a heart chakra. So green, like malachite, is a beautiful stone color. I know you have some. And averantine is also a heart color, and it also is for wealth and abundance. My favorite one is green apophyllite. That is like my go-to. It's all about emotions. I have it up on my shelf. But then you have rose quartz. Rose quartz we see everywhere. You like big thing. Put that stuff in the bathroom. Put it where you're naked, where you constantly see yourself naked, and it really supports you in seeing yourself in your true beauty. Or just putting it all over you. And then we go up to the throat chakra, which, if you're having cold or sinus issues, any sinus earaches are all throat. So if you have ear problems, sinus problems, stuffy nose, like even still a throat, because it's connected.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. And that's a blue color. Yeah. Blue. I was like getting the rainbows right. So that's a blue stone. And an easy one to go, Aquamarine is a pretty blue one. That one's really angelic, and I like that one. Celestite is a beautiful one. There's another one that's super easy to purchase. Blue lace, that's it. Blue lace is a very affordable stone for that one. And then we work our way up to, and also I didn't talk about the properties like the mental. Your throat chakra is your voice. So if you're on camera and you're stuck and you're like, your throat is actually feeling pinched or choked or like it hurts, that's your throat chakra that needs to be cleaned and cleared. And a lot of the times to do that is just to use like singing bowls, or just sing, put on a song, rock out a song, clear it out, use your voice. There's we can go through it when I go through there's this practice where you use like the vom, lam, hum. The one for the throat is hum. So just sing hum over.
Do it with us, guys. Let us know you're doing it with
Hallelujah, hum. And so if you do that a lot, it helps clear it out.
Feels good. My throat hurts. Oh, Darren's doing it in the other room.
And then we go up to the third eye, which is like one of my favorite ones, because once you get that third eye like online, it gets really buzzy, and I am sober. I know Keelan and I both don't drink, and like the experience of like feeling a little bubbly and tipsy, you can get that feeling in meditation. You can get that feeling working on your chakras. I can be lit and people will think that I have had something to drink because I've just been like oming through my brain, and it's like it's buzzing. So your third eye is right here, is actually in the middle of your head. Like, so if you think cross ties and you go about 1 inch above your eyebrows and then inwards and downwards, that's where it's at. And that's your third eye. And your third eye has a pineal gland and then a pituitary gland. And you actually are looking at, when people say, I'm looking out the third eye, they're looking out the pituitary gland, which is a whole nother topic. But so if you ever get the feeling where your third eye is buzzing, or you feel like your forehead is buzzing and it's not a sickness, or you don't actually have a sinus problem, that's your third eye being activated. Like something's going on. Like I pay attention to that one because that's something like you got to pay, like it's telling me focus, pay attention. Or it's telling me there's something here for you, and or this is the right way to go. Awareness. And that one is a purple color. So we went from blue to purple. Interesting thing with stones wise, there's a lot of blue stones that work with your third eye. Like lapis lazuli, which is also an ancient Egyptian stone and is seen in the Bible. Interesting fact, people think that crystals aren't in the Bible. They are. They're in the Bible a lot. And especially, I can't think of what it's called, but end of life. What's the part at the very end of the Bible? It's a whole series at the end when it's like the end of the world. Revelations. Yes. That one? Yes. I can't believe I knew the answer to that, but okay. Thanks to Revelations, where there was I can't think of who it is, but he goes up and he sees God, and it comes to like the throne of God, and God is like actually this lion. And there's all these other beings around that are all half human, half animals. Their heads are animals. So he's talking about there's lions' heads. Oh, he sees lions. Sorry, he says God here, and he sees lions. And there's carnelian, and he speaks about the carnelian that he sees and all of the other stones. It's really fascinating. So when people are telling me that's like not a Christ way, or that's not like they judge what I'm doing, like actually there's a ton of stones in the Bible and all of the properties with them. And so they've been around for a very long time. So lapis lazuli is a powerful one, especially for connecting to other like dimensions. But an easy breezy one, space travel. There's a lot of space travel ones, which I love. The easy breezy one that everybody has, almost everybody, is amethyst. So that is your third eye, and sometimes can work with your crown. But amethyst is great if you're detoxing or want to get rid of you have an addiction, or for sleep. It's a sleep aid one too. So I have a big old one right next to my bed. So that's where I keep that one. I have a lot of amethyst. It's great for a bathtub too. Anything that's quartz can go in the bathtub. All right. And then for your crown chakra, which is right up here, the top, this is your connection to your divinity, to God. It is like it's where you're flowing out. And it's a white. Some people say indigo is the color of that one. Some people just like, that's white. Could be the color of that one. And quartz crystal is the best one for that one. And that one is, it's your bigger I am. It's the I am statements.
Yeah.
And that one's kind of an easy explanation. But the other two that I love to throw in are your earth seeds and your star seeds. Your earth seed is this chakra that is always connected to you. That's about 8 inches below your feet. And then there's a star seed chakra that's 8 inches above you. So the star seed is like kind of where the downloads, they come in there.
Ooh.
And there's this theory I read that I actually really love, is that your downloads actually, someone said they upload, and they explained it like, we upload from the earth because the energy and the frequency of the download from God, from your guides, is so strong that our body actually couldn't handle it if it didn't ground into the ground.
So it's like,
we would just be like, it would be like a lightning bolt. So it goes through our bodies, but they're saying, it can come from the star seed, but it actually is coming from your earth seed. It's coming from Mother Earth, so that our bodies can actually handle the wisdom.
I love it.
So you can take it or leave it.
Like an earthy filter.
Yeah. Well, it's just like our house. It's grounded into the copper. The copper is grounded into the ground. Yeah. So our house doesn't explode.
And fun fact about my house that I've noticed recently, I have pennies everywhere and like strategically placed. But I looked today and I was like, Lady Liberty is what she made out of. And I'm like, I have pennies all over. There's a groundingness to that.
You do. It's automatically grounding. And they're beautiful. They're actually not just grounding. So if you want to create an altar of some sort, like if you take your stones and you put copper between the stones, that actually amplifies the connection between them, because copper is a connecting.
I hope you guys are taking notes, because like this is awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. I have these little copper, they look like bullets in my shelf, but they're these little copper like bullets, and I will place them when I'm making a grid, and if I want to really strengthen it, in between the stones.
Yeah.
And the one thing about the grids, if anybody's like, oh, what is a grid? Like, it's a beautiful layout. You can make it however you want. I tell people there's never a should on it. There are a couple notes if you want it to work properly, is to activate it. Like, and which you have another stone that activates it, and it's all intention. It's all intention, like to activate it, and tell your stones what to do. They love jobs. Think of them as like pets that want a job.
Yeah,
they love having.
I think we should do a whole episode on crystals so that people can understand all the crystal pieces of it. So, and you gave us a lot with the chakras. If you have a stone, a rock, if you will, what do you do with it, with your chakra?
With your chakra? So I have one right here. I'll just grab the one I have. I have a bunch around. Don't ever have any quartz next to your computer. That's the only one note.
Duly noted.
Quartz amplifies, so it'll amplify your electromagnetic frequencies. So black tourmaline, this is a root chakra one. This is a dope one. I love it. So the black is the black tourmaline, and that's a root chakra. It neutralizes. So for this one, I always place it when I was doing crystal healings in person, when I was doing ceremonies in person, and I used to, pre-COVID, I'd have like 20 women, and I'd give them a bag, and I'd lay the stones out on each woman as I led them through a meditation. And this one, if you're doing it, you can actually literally sit on it, on your root chakra, if that's what you were doing. If you're placing it on someone else, you just put one on each hip. So that's how you do it so you don't touch someone's private parts. But let's pretend it's a rose quartz. You just lay it on your heart. I keep it on my body. If I really want to connect with it, I just hold it and keep it. If you don't know what the stone is, just what I would do and I tend to do is I put the stone in my pocket and I just stay with it for a few days. I meditate with it and I notice if there's any changes, any differences, what came up, if dreams were different, like, and then I follow that and then I might research a little bit based on its color, what it looks like. But really, for me, more of them when I'm laying down and working with women, I'm using them as a way to build their energy back up in that space or clear the energy.
And just to let you know, because I know we have a couple gentlemen watching, you can do this too. Because we are women, right? And having those stones and having the same ceremonies.
My
I
husband.
actually have a guy coming in next week.
I was like, my husband loves them. Yeah. I've done like healings on them. We might be addicted to them, and my husband also has addiction. He has the addiction as well. So we have some really big ones. He prefers spheres, the round ones. I prefer.
Of course, he does, Mr. Fancy. He's a fancy pants,
and I prefer them raw. So
what if we wanted to like do a clearing without any stones? We didn't have any stones.
Okay, yeah. So you can. Well, you close your eyes. That's always helpful, but you can do it with your eyes open too if you're just in a space where you want to clear. There's two ways. It depends on what you want to do. You can ground yourself in really quickly, but a clearing, anytime I go into a meditation to clear and check in with my chakras, this is what I do. I close my eyes and I scan my body starting from the root chakra. And I just notice how it feels. I notice, is there any tension in my legs? Do I have any tension in my calves and my thighs? Is there any pain in my hips? And you could do this lying down. You can do this sitting. You can do this any way you want. You can be standing.
You can even do it while you're driving. Just make sure you're still paying attention.
Pay attention. Yeah. And yeah, if you're driving, usually it's our throat chakra, our heart, our solar plexus, the will gets really on overdrive because if there's traffic,
right?
And just breathing through them, noticing, oh, my throat's closing up, and just breathing, humming, doing the hum. The throat is just imagining if you soften yourself a little bit and then keep softening and softening until, you feel better, but yet not asleep. Like you're still driving. But so when you
the fudge down.
Exactly. So when you're scanning your body, I'll add in a layer. So you scan your root chakra, and there's the chant, the bija, that's what they're called, bijas, that is Lam. Lam is your root. Lam. So there are some meditations and yogis that love to do this when they're starting their practice. Lam. And then you go to your solar plexus, and again, it's scanning it. It's just tapping in. What I love to do when I'm in that moment is just like I'm bringing awareness to my rainbow, also called your prana light, the prana channel, your light channel, your source. And I'm just bringing awareness, and I'm saying, I'm listening, I'm paying attention, I'm giving you a moment to speak to me. And then I ask, like, is there anything you want me to know? Is there any pain? Is something I haven't dealt with yet? And if you feel anything on your body, if you get a twinge in your back or on your shoulder blade or in your arm or your throat, I go there and I pull that pain. And I have the intention where I see it on my body. So if it's like, if I have a pain in on my underneath my ribs, I just feel it. I'm saying, yes, I see you. I feel you. And then I breathe it in back into my rainbow. So I bring it into the closest chakra on my body. So on my ribs, it'd be in the solar plexus. That'd be the stomach area. And I intentionally see it moving back into my light channel, my prana. And then I do another scan in my body and I see, is there anything else? Is there anything else I'm missing? And then I keep working up the channel, up the pranas, up the chakras from the sacral to the solar. I do about 2 to 3 breaths for each one, depending on how much time I have. If I have lots of time, maybe I'll stay there a little longer. And then I go to the heart, I go to the root until I feel soft in each one and warm and liquidy. And like maybe I have a little bit of a smile on my face, or maybe it's my face actually relaxes. Like my cheeks relax, my tongue goes limp, my lips part. And I'm not holding any tension. And then I work way up to the throat, and then I work my way up to the third eye. And sometimes people struggle here. So the third eye, I kind of will take a deep breath and I'll hold it in my head. And I'll hold it until my head hurts just a little bit, until I think I can't hold it anymore. And then I'll release. And it brings your awareness into that space. And I'll do that a few rounds. And it also opens up your crown at the same time.
That's a good trick. That was good. Get into that third eye.
Yeah. And it's like even expanding your breath in your heart as big as you can get. Like use your breath is the best tool you have. Mm-hmm. You can expand each solar chakra or each chakra to as much as you can possibly get. And that'll bring awareness to the space. And you'll notice your body more.
Yeah, I used to make the joke that I wish I'd found breath work in my 20s and I wouldn't have partied so much. And drank and smoked and done all that.
That was the first thing out of my divorce that I went to. I found a not Kira. Oh, I did not say it right. There's a breath work that I joined, and I did that, and I found this group. And then you could go to like this temple and do breath work. It saved me. It was the thing that got me through the hard times, was learning how to use my breath as a tool to heal, a tool to get through, like a way to cope.
Yeah. And I think that what we just went through, you guys, give yourselves a minute and sit with your rainbow inside and breathe into it, because it really, I've got this sore throat that I've been healing from all week, and that was really supportive too, just being able to like bring the energy, to it. So we've been going for like 32 minutes. Can you believe that?
Of course we have.
It flew by.
It's so much fun being with you.
I know. I love it.
And then you get me talking about mystical stuff.
Ooh, watch out. We got a lot more to talk about. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we will definitely do this again. And anyone who's watching, please let Brittany know what your biggest takeaway was today. I know that we covered a lot, but give to her the way that she has given to us this evening. And if you're watching the replay, let us know you're on the replay. Yeah. Love you guys. Do you have anything else you want to share before we wrap up?
I think that if you were like really, for me, it's all about joy. Like that's all I've been talking about is about joy right now, and like how to create joy in your life, and breathing. Even if your first thing you do in the morning is taking a breath and scanning with my clients, that's like, sometimes that's what we do. That's the biggest, actually it's the most regular thing. That's the problem, is they're like, I have pain and I'm like this anxiety and this stress. And I will do a scan on them. I'll test them, like, you're not breathing. Like it comes down to breath. I had one client in particular. I asked her, do you feel pain in your heart? Because when I was working with her, I felt this pain in my heart and it was hurting. It's like, oh my God, yes. I actually just been to the doctor about it. And they told me I wasn't breathing I wasn't breathing and I needed to learn how to breathe. And she took it as a joke. Like, what? What? Then she came to me. I'm like, you need to breathe. And she just burst into tears. She's like, that's the problem? I'm like, yeah. Like breathing down to your lower stomach, which goes about to on Saturday to see you guys at 10 o'clock. Is when you're on camera I do it all the time. If I'm not breathing down to my stomach, I show up ungrounded, disconnected, and really like up here.
And your voice gets cracked.
So breathing solves, I would say, 80% of the problems.
Totally. It really, really does. It does. And you know what came up for me, and then we'll wrap up, is, you know, right now, COVID is all about a lack of breath.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
yeah.
Truly it is. It's the symptoms of a smoker. You lose taste and smell and breath. So
the biggest medicine is to go outside, get your feet in the ground, lay on the ground if you can, get in the sun. The sun has healing properties, the strongest ones.
Breathe and hydrate, like really fundamental stuff.
Yeah, when I had COVID right in January 2020, I went outside, and the only thing that made me feel better was oming. So I did the bija, naked in the grass in the sun. I was breathing fresh air. So
that's how she parties, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So please let us know what you guys took away. If there's more that you want us to talk about, Brittany's definitely going to come on again. And we will see you guys I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m., but you'll see Brittany on Saturday at 10 a.m. So sign up. We love you guys. Thank you, Brittany, for being here. Really appreciate it. Have a great evening for now. Catch you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.